UHY and Detroit Regional Chamber are involved in this event, co-sponsoring, if you will, 50 years, 50 charities, 50 checks. Remember, we spoke about that on the air before, and I have a poster in front of me with all the 50 different charities that each got money, most recently for their 50th anniversary, but they've done a lot of work for a lot of different charities, including my Paul W. Smith Golf Classic to benefit children's charities. I'll be a little later back with the folks at the Detroit Regional Chamber for our In the Boardroom this morning at 11:30. Looking forward to that a little bit later as we sit across from Dennis Petri, partner of UHY LLP, Michigan. Dennis, nice to see you. Nice to be here with you.
Thank you.
Roberto Macho is here, UHY Macho and Associates from Argentina.
Yep. Absolutely.
Nice to have you here, sir. And Steve McCarty back with us, Board of Directors, UHY Advisors, UHY Corporate. Steve, nice to see you.
Thank you, Paul W.
I'm going to start with you, Dennis, and the whole idea of what's going on here, the importance of this international tax services, which is a critical service to corporate America. And, you know, with Windsor right across the river, there's right there in our own backyard, you have international tax things that you have to work out for people.
Absolutely. And, we have a great relationship with our Canadian affiliated firms here in UHY International. We do a lot of cross-border work with them. I also do a lot of cross-border work with Roberto Macho here. And the reason for that is Roberto is two things, really. The culture of Central and South America, our clients that do business there have tax needs. Roberto's the person we go to. And the second important thing there is, obviously Roberto speaks the language. And it's just been a great partnership. And we've worked together on a number of clients that we mutually have.
And Steve, you and Roberto have also worked together very much on the growth, really, of the international M&A transactions.
Yeah, Roberto has been such a huge help to us here in Detroit. We've got a client just north of Detroit that is actually making an acquisition in South America, and Roberto met with 5 of their representatives yesterday, just coaching them, and it's going to help usher them through the process in South America.
And Roberto, we're talking about you like you're not here, so now it's your turn to talk a little bit about it.
So glad to be here.
Have you been to Detroit before?
Actually, I've been to Detroit like 20 plus years ago, so I've seen how this city changed over the years, and I'm very happy after the crash down back a few years ago how it's been recovered. I mean, it's fabulous.
We're excited that this is the first time UHY has had their international event here. It's been all over the world, but this is the first time right here in Detroit, Michigan. That's a very big deal. Tell me a little bit more about yourself. I can't help myself. The first thing that comes to my mind, because of me being hungry most of the time, Argentina, and I think of everything I've heard from people. There's fabulous food, fabulous steaks in Argentina. And you inform me that you're not a steak eater.
Absolutely not. I was a steak eater until like 7-8 years ago, and I stopped eating beef. So, I mean, as I said, I'm a very bad Argentinian. I don't drink any alcohol, so I don't drink wine. But anyway, my roots are there, and yeah, I've been from early in my career, I've been exposed to international companies doing business in different countries. So I started to work with first American companies doing business in Argentina. Then expanded regionally, and that's why we have this close relationship with the U.S. and particularly with the Detroit firm of UHY, which is a very strong firm. So basically, what we do is we help foreign companies to come into the country and have the right setup, the right structure, tax-wise, from the operation standpoint. And the other way around as well. I mean, we help, as Steve just mentioned, we help American companies to operate efficiently outside the U.S., which is not usually the case. Sometimes people tend to think that the formula for success in their local country, would be valid for another environment, which is not necessarily the case.
No, and back to the other part of your work, besides the people in America that go overseas. We're thrilled that it's probably gotten busier watching as Detroit has changed, more people coming from overseas coming into Detroit and into the United States, and you're helping them with that as well. So that's all good news, gentlemen.
No, absolutely. And let me tell you that there's a lot of private equity funds mainly focusing on real estate who were previously investing in some other parts like Florida, some other parts of the U.S., and now are really looking seriously into Detroit because they feel that there's an opportunity there, a big opportunity.
I'm going to ask you, because the other people are telling me one thing, and I want to make sure it's coming right from you as well, Roberto, and your foreign counterparts from all around the world. Sounds to me like now, this didn't happen a few years ago, but now when they said, how about if we do this big meeting in Detroit, guys like you were all for that.
Absolutely. I think that Detroit is being like a power engine of the U.S., and we've seen how it's been picking up over the last few years, and I think that there's a lot more things to come. So, yeah, absolutely.
Guys, no disrespect to Steve and Dennis, but when you look at Roberto, I mean, don't you think movie star?
Absolutely.
I mean, the first thing that doesn't come to mind is CPA.
We're cooler just by being by him.
Right.
I feel cooler being by him.
We hear that all the time, Paul W.
And you got to take a picture that you put on social media because you're like a movie star.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome. Last word, anything? Maybe Dennis. Last word, anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to say, we really appreciate all our international partners coming here to Detroit. We've done the best we can to, get them all together. We've got a great turnout, good attendance, and we're really looking forward to the next 3 days of really solid, good meetings, getting together, talking, and hopefully generating more business for the network and for our partners.
Dennis Petri, partner of UHY LLP Michigan. Steve McCarty, the board of directors, UHY Advisors, UHY Corporate. Always good to see you, Steve. And in between films, Roberto Macho, UHY Macho and Associates in Argentina.
Thank you for having us.
Nice to see you and to meet you, and I'm glad we could have you, and thank you for